Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to my channel. This is Dr. D Oracle, your favorite psychic medium and metaphysician, coming back at you today. And I'm going to be talking about who your ancestors are, who your spirit guides are, and how they come through to communicate with you. So, I want to thank you for stopping by my channel. If you're new, make sure you click on that subscribe button and the little bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. But also make sure you click on that like video, whether you're new or not. Okay, that little like, thumbs up. So what I want to talk about today, and I'm going to be getting into, is who exactly are your ancestors, who are your spirit guides, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Neteru, okay, and how we work ourselves up the tree of life so that we can meet all of these different personas that seem to want to interact with us to help us for our highest and our greatest good. What even is our highest and greatest good, okay? So I want to first off start by acknowledging the fact that you have to come out of your ideals or perspectives about what a spirit is. Because when we're talking about spirit, what do we mean by that? What is a spirit? Where do they live? You know, and I've made a couple of videos about this on my channel talking about specifically where do our loved ones go, okay, after they're no longer here. When they leave their body, where does their energy go? Okay, the universe itself, you have to understand how it's partitioned off into these different realms, okay? Now, even though this realm here is a realm of psychological existence, it has different layers, okay, of thought patterns, okay? So, different animals seem to think different, like mammals think a little bit different than reptiles. And then we have other animals that, you know, are predators, or, you know, they're meat eaters, carnivores, or whatever. And then we have another type of animal that just eats vegetation, okay? In our mind, our brain, we have a reptile brain, okay, and we have a mammalian brain, and we also have what they call, well, some people call it the ape brain, okay? It makes you keep doing the same thing over and over again, even though it may not be good for you, you know? So we have these different facets of our mind, and we are part animal. And what I mean by that is our body, what we're using here, our material reality, we're interfacing with this body, okay, with different stimuli on the planet, okay? But after that, when you're just energy, what are we saying? What are we saying when we're saying we're just in spirit? Well, you have different aspects of your mind, your psyche, okay? Your psyche is also your soul, okay? So your soul is connected to the sun, and those are your solar energies, okay? And then we have something going on with consciousness where our ancestors tapped into what they call the zodiac. Now we know it as a whole bunch of signs, everybody posting online, all that old shit. Well, you know, it's out of order, basically. But the zodiac sign is a form of psychic energy. And what I mean by that is it influences the pathology, okay, within you, okay? So when we're looking at the zodiac, or we're looking at our birth chart, we are looking at all of the psychic energies that we bring here with us that make up who we are as an individual. Okay? This includes, because, see, consciousness has different levels. Okay? Some of consciousness is material, but some of consciousness is a higher reality that we call soul or psyche. Okay? So that's animal and soul, combined in this reality. Okay? So those psychic energies that are from the zodiac, when we're looking at how we relate with Mars or how we relate with the zodiac sign of Taurus, we understand those animals and the way that those animals have their pathology set up influences us. Okay? And if you pull up your birth chart, you have all the different energies going around, and it tells you each energy that you are working with to influence who you are as a person. Okay? Other psychic energies, the ancestors. The ancestors are a psychic energy. Yes, from our mind sometimes we see them as something different, okay? But as you grow in your spirituality, you will understand that all is mind, okay? And if you dibble and dabble into the occult and you know anything about that, that is one of the main teachings. That is one of the pillars of the occult. All is mind, okay? So that you understand whatever is in your mind is going to manifest into this reality. So our ancestors, they've already manifested into this reality, and over time within your bloodline, you've maintained a certain amount of psychic energy that makes up who you are, that belongs also to your ancestors. It's like a collective consciousness that continues to build. Like we have the human collective consciousness. Well, in our families, we have a small collective consciousness right there too that just kind of influences our whole world. Okay? This is where we get the idea from of generational curses. So your ancestors are going to be passing down a particular type of thought pattern or frequency to you that basically makes you manifest who they once were, or the different things that they've passed on to you on a mental level or aspect. Okay? And then if you want to connect with the psychic energy that's called the ancestors, you have to connect with your intuition, because then they would speak to you through omens and dreams. You could get certain readings and different kinds of synchronicity that they will symbolize for you, so that you understand when they're trying to talk to you or to make a strong point. Okay? So the ancestors are another type of psychic energy beside the zodiac. Now, what about our spirit guides? Who are our spirit guides? Well, they manifest within our mind as, different things that are pulled from the imagination. But they are also psychic energies. And if you want to get real deep with it, our spirit guides, they're the different psychic energies that we're connecting with in each zodiac sign, okay? As we move up, the lessons that we're supposed to learn, okay? If you're checking out your demonic court, that's definitely going to be in reference to where the moon is in your placement on your birth chart, okay? Another thing, when we think about the spirit guides, like I said, they're different zodiac energies, because you have to master each of those energies so that you'll be able to, be a whole, complete person. Like, all the parts of your psyche will be integrate it, okay? So that's what mastery is about when it comes down to zodiac energies, psychic energies, when we're dealing with our spirit guides and they're trying to help us attain different things for our highest and greatest good. It's not just all about giving readings, but that is the specific purpose for each and every human being who comes here. They have to travel those realms in the psyche, and they have to integrate all of those parts of their selves before they're really completely able to understand how to unify consciousness, okay? This is the same story of Set and Osiris, playing out, being divided, piecing yourself back together, integrating all the parts of yourself, and then you become Lord of what? The underworld, which represents the subconscious, okay? So with your psyche, there's, a conscious part, and then there's a subconscious part. Your subconscious part is what we're talking about when we're saying spirit. When I'm saying spirit, I'm saying, I talk to the subconscious part of who you are as a spirit, and it told me blah, 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 and this is your reading, okay? That's what we're tapping into. Sometimes those can be ancestral spirits, or sometimes they can be the spirit of the person, okay? So if you come sit before me, it's like I channel your spirit, and your spirit gives me visions or shows me different parts of your energy, and then I have to interpret it back to you, okay? That's how that works. The Netaru. I said that I was going to touch on this, and I'm going to be done, but the Netaru, when we think about the Netaru, those are all the different psychic energies, that you contain, as well as those contained in nature. And all these different psychic energies are contained in nature too. That's how you do rituals, and you invoke, or conjure, okay? You channel those psychic energies, okay? But the Netaru are psychic energies, just like the zodiac. Different aspects of, your God self, your higher self, okay? There are higher and lower deities too. So let's not get that confused. Some people tap into the lower deities or the higher deities, or both. But when we're saying deities, if you look at that, it has a root word of diet, okay? So you need to fill yourself up, not on bread alone, but you have to feed the mind. That's what that's about. If you look at any of the trees of life, the Kabbalah, or the tree of life, that's associated with Kabbalah, or you look at the Kemetic tree of life, each realm has a deity that oversees that realm. And when you learn about that deity and the mysteries of that deity, you understand exactly what they mastered, okay? So when you're in each of those realms going up the tree of life, you're mastering each one of those zones of consciousness, or as I called them at the beginning of the video, each one of those zones of psychic energy, okay? So I just wanted to come on and clarify that, so we don't have a misunderstanding of what spirit is and how spirit interacts with us in this reality. It interacts with us through psychic energy. Anything that spirit is saying, it pulls from the mind, or it uses, different pictures that are part of the collective human consciousness to communicate a point to you, okay? That could be through a dream or a reading, or a synchronicity, or a sign, or omen, different things. If you're into practicing magic or the occult, then you tend to understand that You have to be able to communicate with spirit, not so much through words, but through symbols, okay? So that's what the psychic energies are going to represent. Different symbols and different type. Those symbols represent, just the type of spirit or the temperament of spirit. When you're pulling your herbs or your plants from nature, or you're looking at the zodiac, even spirit guides, you observe the temperament of that spirit guide, of that spirit. Okay? And when you do that, you understand if that's a hot spirit or a cold spirit or whatever, kind of persona that spirit has. Okay? We are an embodiment of a lot of those energies, which we call deities or gods. They make up the just the overall psyche, how our soul is. All of these energies are part of our solar energies. Okay, this is how the universe influences us. Okay, the cosmic consciousness. Okay, so we have to understand the cause of everything is consciousness. Without consciousness, it's dead. Okay, but cosmic cycles, how I was telling you guys, there's a winter, spring, fall, and summer of consciousness. This all has to go with it. If you notice, it's all just circles going around and around. It's all psychic energy. It's the mind of the universe, mental energies. Okay, so when you're looking at what is a spirit, okay, my dears, do not be confused when I tell you any spirit is going to communicate with you through the mind. Even if you think you saw it outside of yourself, that's a projection. Okay, and this reality has a lot to do with projection. Okay, other people project things onto us, we project things onto other people, and that's somewhat how we filter information and insight about what's happening or what's going on. So when I'm in a reading and I'm connecting with a spirit on the other side, I'm doing it by the mind. Now, there is a certain energy shift or change when I know that I've connected with the spirit, but mostly they give me a series of symbols, or they're trying to, words, they're trying to tell me or make me feel things that happened to them when they were dying or when they were alive, and they're trying to show me something that I can give to their loved one that's going to confirm who they are and that they are okay. That's the basic point of being a medium. Yes, they come through and show me different things from memories from childhood and stuff like that. But the basic point of a mediumship reading is to connect with the spirit to bring back information that the sitter can understand and verify, so they know that that is their particular spirit. But everything is happening in the mind of the universe. That's all. I've experienced the mind of the universe, and it's awesome, it's broad, it's wide. But that's where all that information is coming from. When you're a clairvoyant, even that spirit is tapped into the mind of the universe, and that's how you can tap into it. So that's what I call spiritual Wi-Fi. And I'm going to end this video by saying thank you for watching, and make sure that you check out, if you have time, my dark mirror readings or my destiny readings, which are 2022 preview. Okay, I do have the gift of precognition, and I can see the future. Okay, so I hope that you return to my channel. Make sure that you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.